So the big question for Red Dead Redemption 2 at the moment is there going to be any story DLC content? Whether that be an Undead Nightmare 2 or something else entirely, we don't know. All I know is that Red Dead Redemption 2 is an incredible game, and no story DLC content would be a huge miss. One that Rockstar probably can afford to make, but won't want to necessarily. Now, I think it's fair to say that Rockstar expected Red Dead Online to be received better than it actually was, hoping that somehow it would reach the same heights as GTA Online probably, but it's atrocious, so that's out the window now. Now, had Rockstar managed to make Red Dead Online as successful as GTA Online, then there would have definitely not been any prospect of single-player DLC for this game, as GTA 5 surprisingly didn't get any story DLCs, it just got online expansions. Obviously, I'd imagine Rockstar expected that same thunder to strike again here, but unfortunately for them, it definitely didn't. So I think it's time to ponder on the question, should Red Dead Redemption 2 get story DLC? And my answer is it's definitely capable of achieving such things, and there are certain things in the game that would suggest a DLC could happen. For example, while playing as John Marston in the epilogue, spoiler alert for those who haven't played it, but why are you watching this video if you haven't? Furthermore, how else did you expect Red Dead Redemption 2 to end? Well, while playing as John Marston, you can actually experience a glitch in which John speaks but not in his voice. It sounds like a younger man, like Jack Marston, which has led to speculation about a Jack Marston DLC or a Red Dead Redemption 1 remake or remaster, but that's all that's come from that. Then in Blackwater, you've got the Blackwater Cipher, which essentially hints at certain aspects of Red Dead Redemption's Undead Nightmare expansion, pondering the question, will Red Dead Redemption 2 feature an Undead Nightmare 2 at some point? Which in my honest opinion would definitely be an idea that was at least pitched at some point, even if it's not something that I personally would enjoy, as I wasn't a big fan of Undead Nightmare. I understand that it's great and all, I'm just not a big fan of zombies in general. So though it wouldn't necessarily appeal to me, I can understand the appeal to a lot of players and why it would have been welcomed in Red Dead Redemption 2 if they so wish to make it. And then there's of course the rendering of certain assets in Mexico, such as buildings and things, which are seen in certain people's videos where they manage to break out of the map area and go and explore Mexico and find stuff like that, which shows that certain of that world has actually been built. For what reason, I don't understand. You don't see that stuff, so it's not got any like distance reasoning for being there. It's just there. So either it was initially a part of the game that they just cut out, maybe they planned it for a story expansion, as we might hope, or maybe it was for a future update to Red Dead Online, which now we know that a whole 10 people are probably going to play. Sorry, a lot of people will play it, but about 10 people will actually care about being in Mexico. Everyone else will be too busy griefing each other's fun to give a damn where they're doing it. Regardless, all we know is that if it's there, then at one point they did intend for us to see it in the game. Whether that be now or in a DLC, we don't know. So considering particular assets are already there, maybe Mexico is the way forward for a Red Dead Redemption 2 story expansion. Or at the very least, it will be featured in an upcoming Red Dead Online update that actually does something as opposed to a whole lot of nothing in the background. If they don't actually do anything with that world space that they've got there, then I'll just be a tad confused as to what was the point in designing it to begin with, to be honest. Other theories as to where the DLC could go next, let's get Undead Nightmare 2 out of the way. Well, a lot of hints to Undead Nightmare are actually in Red Dead Redemption 2, such as that green mask thing showing up all over the place, as well as the Blackwater Cipher referencing that godlike character that we meet in Undead Nightmare, and so on and so forth. Then there are people in passing conversation saying things like they dreamed about a green mask, which is also quite interesting. And ultimately all these things are just Easter eggs, but it could be hinting at an Undead Nightmare 2. I'm not sure if I'm too keen on an Undead Nightmare 2 based on the fact that, however, it would be an opportunity to put more supernatural stuff in the game, so more mysteries for me to explore, which means I get to milk this game even further than now. Just imagine Bigfoot, werewolves and all that wonderful stuff. So despite the fact that it wouldn't necessarily be tailor-made to suit me, I'd still find some enjoyment out of that. So I don't see any reason why they shouldn't do that. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean they will. They might want to go down a more original path for Red Dead Redemption 2's DLC content if they so wish to make it. Speaking of which, the two ideas that come to mind here are, they could either go back and do an early version of Dutch's gang with a younger Arthur Morgan, which to be honest I don't see the point in that because Red Dead Redemption 2 is already a prequel to Red Dead Redemption. if you have a DLC that's a prequel to Red Dead Redemption, it's just going to become unnecessary universe padding. And that honestly doesn't strike me as something that Rockstar would do. But if they did, it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing right off the bat. But there is the premise that it would have to be separate from the base game entirely in its own sort of world space, as we all know what happens in the story at this point. If you don't, like I said before, why on earth are you watching this video? Not saying it wouldn't be interesting to cover the early years of the Van der Linde gang and see that and experience it from Arthur's perspective as a younger man, but I think that one might be a bit out of reach and contradicting what Red Dead Redemption 2 tries to achieve. But who knows what they'll do. Another favourite speculated idea is the concept of a DLC revolving around Sadie Adler's life as a bounty hunter. I see no reason why this couldn't be a thing. Sadie Adler's a really good character, but at the same time she's definitely more designed as a crucial side character, but still a side character. So as much as I wouldn't mind this, I wouldn't imagine Rockstar putting their eggs into this basket. But that's enough speculating about the potential avenues of story DLC for Red Dead Redemption 2 that Rockstar could take if they so wished to. It pains me to say it, however, that I don't think Rockstar actually intend to do any story DLC for Red Dead Redemption 2. I think they expected Red Dead Online to be received much better than it was, and then build off of the back of that by releasing content for that regularly. But that's not how it went down, so I'd imagine story DLC is still an idea on the table for Rockstar if they so wish to make it. I do know that Rockstar love to take their time with stuff, so a Red Dead Redemption 2 DLC could be released up to a year or more after the launch of Red Dead Redemption 2, which means we've got a long wait yet. However, there is a point where I think that it'll probably just be best to forget about Red Dead Redemption 2 getting story DLC. And I'd say that if we haven't heard anything by March of next year, then there's nothing to come. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 is a phenomenal game and is fully deserving of a DLC story, but at the same time the story is complete. Red Dead Redemption as a story is finished. There's no need to perform any unnecessary universe padding, but provided that DLC is quality as well, it can only bring the game's quality up even further. And I mean, I'd like to investigate some new mysteries, so Mexico DLC please. Or Under Nightmare 2, I'd imagine both would be packed with mysteries. Anyways, there you go, there's me talking about Red Dead Redemption 2's potential for story DLC. Be sure to let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Do you think Red Dead Redemption 2 necessarily needs a story DLC? In my opinion it doesn't, but it'll be welcomed. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments section, as well as let me know what you want from a Red Dead Redemption 2 story DLC. Anyways, thank you all for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff, I'd really appreciate it. And I'll see you all very soon with another video at some point.